One of the ways you develop unshakable confidence is to do nothing. And I know this is counterintuitive to the mainstream advice, which is go to the gym, read 30 pages daily, take action, do this. And there's a space for that. But most of the time, you're better off doing nothing externally and more internally, because confidence is internally generated more than external. That's why majority of people wonder why rich people dress homeless and poor people want to dress rich. If your confidence is based on externality, or if you've not developed the capacity to be confident in yourself, if I give you a McLaren, or if you pull up in a Lamborghini, a Bugatti, whatever luxurious car you desire, you would still not be confident. Because it's most likely when you upgrade your status, you would meet people of congruent status. And when you meet individuals with McLaren, the novelty wears off. The only reason you derived confidence from that luxury car was because no one around you had it. Now in a situation where every single person has what you once revered, the confidence, the desire, the accolades, what wears off. It melts like wax before sun. So confidence shouldn't be externally generated, it should be internally generated. Which leaves us with a question. How do you generate confidence internally? One of the ways you generate internal confidence is by doing things. By doing things. You thought you could escape it. You thought you could manifest your way into confidence. You thought I was going to sell you this idea that you can sit in your room with your fingers crossed and you become fucking confident. It's not possible. Back in high school, I didn't believe in myself, especially academically. Because of the quality of the invigilation, it was super free. I usually relied on my body, my seat partner, or wherever I was positioned. But something remarkable happened the following day. It happened as though the invigilators planned it. They assaulted us with a lot of invigilators, such that it was one invigilator per row, swarming around the invigilation hall, the examination hall, like bees. The invigilation became super tight. It was what nobody expected. Nobody prepared for this. 50% of the class planned to cheat, and every single place was locked in. Luckily for me, I had read the day prior, so I had a good understanding of what to write and what the subject entails. And I noticed something very surprising. I couldn't write. I wanted someone to confirm my thoughts. I was waiting for a seat partner or a body to give me the go ahead to write what I fucking thought. Something I read, something I believed was correct. I still doubted this idea that this was the optimal definition of the concept. Nevertheless, I went with this philosophy: half bread is better than none. It's better I write a whole bunch of rubbish than to leave the script empty. At least, out of empathy, the grader might decide to give a D or a C as opposed to its counterparts. I got home, opened my notebooks, and it was exactly the same thing that was there. The only regret was I didn't write more. because I was so unconfident at the various description. I was so unsure. I didn't elaborate as much as I would have. It was this one situation that spurred my belief academically and led to a first class degree in economics. So I graduated with first class. I believed in myself that I could look at something and grasp it immediately. And that was the discovery of my amazing mind, my photographic memory, because I spent only an hour or two on that subject and I was able to get 60 to 70% cumulatively. The moral of this story is to take action, bet on chance. Life is willing to teach you if you are willing to learn. Most of you will go through the exact same scenario and don't fucking think about it because you are not self-reflective. You do not think, you do not sit and analyze your day. How did it go? How could I have made this day more optimal? What did I do here? Okay, I stuttered in this video. Was it as a result? Lack of preparation. Okay, I met this lady. I didn't speak as eloquent as I wanted to be. I was not as confident as I wanted to be. Why? Fear. There were a lot of people around us. I felt like I was also engaging them in conversation. As a consequence, I overthought it and I was trying to appear as perfect as possible, which inadvertently ruined the whole convo because it devolved to an interview. Hi, hello, what are you doing? I'm fine. Where are you from? And there's no exchange. It's more like an interrogation. So find that examination hall for you. One tiny experience like that examination hall and a whole destiny, a whole purpose could be born from that one small experience. So stop waiting for grandiosity or some splendor achievements before you discover the latent talent you have within. The morale, be willing to bet on chance. The difference between Elon and Boeing is Elon is willing to be laughed at in the short term. He's willing to launch rockets into space, have it blow up, have investors doubt him, finally makes a successful one. Conversely, Boeing would spend 5 years in building something that doesn't work. As a result, their achievements are continent apart. Learn the moral of the lesson. I'll wrap this up with a quote that I fell in love with. Life will teach you as long as you are willing to learn. As always, my friends, pleasure speaking to you. See you when.